Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hi, Jackie Kashian here. You're listening to The Dork Forest. You know the websites, dorkforest.com, thedorkforest.com if you like a determiner. JackieKashian.com has everything. Both of my podcasts, all of the stand-up stuff, the new album, links to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. But so, I think, does dorkforest.com, where you can look at old videos of different shows. Anyway, if you want to support the show, tell people about the show, review it on iTunes, thumbs it up on Pandora or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. I appreciate that. You can donate. You can donate monthly. PayPal lets you do that. You can also do my Venmo if you like. It's at Jackie Kashian, absolutely everywhere. And my email address is jackie@jackiekashian.com, and that's what the PayPal is. The PayPal link is on jackiekashian.com and dorkforest.com. And go to any of them. Thanks for listening. There's merch. There's stand-up. There's tour guide. You know, you can find out where I'm touring. This is getting long, so let's get into the show. Hi, Jackie Kashian here in my garage. It's October, you guys, so let us begin the many episodes about scary shit I'll never watch, but I appreciate hearing about it. I love a secondhand scary tale. And with me, comedian Sammie James. Welcome to the program, Sammie James.
Hey, Jackie, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Of course. And you are on all the, we just talked about it, all the TikToks and all the Instagrams and Twitters, Sam James, SAMMIE, SAMJAMES. It'll be in the notes.
Yeah.
And we are doing a show. We're doing a KO comedy. It will be over by the time this drops, but we'll do another. There'll be more comedy in our lives.
KO comedy is always a good time.
KO comedy is a good time. They are a nonstop. They never stop doing Zoom shows. For those of you who really enjoyed the Sunday services and want to see stand-up in your own homes via Zoom, go to KOComedy.com. Swear to God. It's genuine. I think every night. Don't they do it like 4 nights a week at least?
I think so.
Yeah, which is Banana Land, and good for them. But Sammie James and I will be doing it this Friday. You'll miss it. Your dorkdom is, when I asked, you were like, well, it's scary movies. And I said, well, pick 5. And you said, well, you can't go wrong with these. And by the way, you got a big shout out when I read them to Brian Posehn and Ken Daly and Dan Telfer this morning. Because I did an episode of Nerd Poker where we played D&D, and they're all scary movie aficionados. So good choice, I guess. Oh, there was a question.
Okay.
Is your first movie on the list Fright Night?
Yes.
The original or the remake?
Oh, the original. No, that's...
Oh, Brian Posehn said that he loved the remake almost better than the original.
Ooh. I'm willing to. I'm not going to argue that. Now
Hang on, my dog just barked, which means I have to open a door just in case. Come on in, dum-dum. There you go. Now you're inside. Now you're in the hot room, Tyson. Congratulations. Okay, so you're not going to say it's not good.
Yeah, it's just like the original was one of those like formative horror movies for me, so it's just like...
What year was it? Fright Night.
That came out in 1985, which is not when I saw it.
No, fair enough. But so Fright Night was a 1985 horror movie with who was in it?
Let's see. That is God, and this is...
Were they famous people now, or did it make any careers?
They were decent names, and Chris Sarandon was the vampire. Who he's been in a bunch of things. People would know him as the cop in Child's Play. As far as like, but like prior to that, he was like a big, fancy stage actor. And I can never remember the main actor's name. And I also can't remember the other guy, which is weird because I've literally hung out with that guy.
Oh, you've got to meet some of these people.
I met the
1985 one is a Tom Holland movie.
Yep.
And it had Chris Sarandon Is that related to Susan Sarandon?
I don't think so.
Do we know? Okay, Roddy McDowall.
Yep.
Roddy McDowall from the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
William Ragsdale, Amanda Bierce, Stephen Jeffries.
Stephen
Jonathan
Jeffries,
Stark.
that's the guy.
That's the guy you've got to hang with?
Yeah, I met him because I worked at a bookstore years ago, like probably a decade ago.
Okay.
And the bookstore guy also did like he did like community theater and ran a bunch of events. And for the local college, he put on a play of Nosferatu, and Stephen Jeffries was in that.
Oh, that's neat. So you got to. So, Fright Night though, is it just one? Does it take place in one night? That's going to be my basic question about Fright Night.
Not exactly. That comes from like the main character. He likes horror movies. He watches this show called Fright Night, which was like an Elvira, Mistress of the Dark sort of thing with like a horror host.
And then would show, it was Fright Night was the name of the night of horror movies that would show on UHF when that person was a child. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And so they just named the movie after that, and then, I mean, this is a movie from 1985, the remake, 2011, you guys. So the big spoiler alert about something that's over 10 years old. As per usual, there will be spoilers.
The remake, the one good thing about the remake, it had Anton is it Anton Yelchin in it, which like you couldn't go wrong with any of the movies that kid was in.
Was picking. It says Colin Farrell, Anton Yelchin, Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Yeah, that's McLovin.
Who is that? McGonagall?
McLovin? I don't know. People my age know him from the Superbad movie.
From what movie?
Superbad?
Right. That would have been a movie that I wouldn't have watched even if I were 11 years old. Because I remember, and granted, this was not a movie made for me, but when I was like 15, there was a movie that a lot of people my age have seen, and it's terrible. Yeah. But I never saw it because it was not made for me, and it was called Porky's. And it was a nightmare. From as far as I could tell, as far as not only just being bad, it was actually one of the most sexist, like misogynistic, dumb movies in the whole wide world.
I will say this is not horror related, but as far as Superbad, that is a movie that like seeing. I'm a trans person, and like seeing in high school or like just out of high school pre-transition, like because everyone I'm with loves the movie, so at the time like I love the movie, but sure.
How does it hold up?
I've tried to watch it as an adult and as actually me, and it doesn't really do it for me.
That is the nature of, and that is one of the problems where people tend to, when they watch the new Star Wars movies and stuff like that, they're like, it isn't as good as the other one. I was like, the other one, you were 11.
Yeah.
You have no sense of what it ought to be, because there's an 11-year-old right now who loved the, Jar Jar Binks, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but what is Fright Night about? I mean, and do you know if they kept the plot between the first and the second?
Yeah, the plot is pretty much the same. A lot of the scenes are the same. There's one scene that I think they changed because like you can't it's a 1985 scene that can't really be recreated the same way in 2011.
Okay.
But it is about this kid who's really into horror movies, and a vampire moves in next door, and is killing people, and he reaches out. He decides, you know what I need to do? I need to find this horror host, and the horror host is going to help me kill a vampire.
Oh, he wants to kill. He's not fangirling on the vampire.
no.
He
No,
wants to defeat the vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, at least and he's on the side of good, right? A la Buffy and Angel. Anyway, but that's interesting that it's a vampire movie, because that's a really good one for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Because is it got a lot of jump scares, or is it tense?
It's more tense. It's tense. It's creepy. And because I might just be saying this because it was one of mine. It's a good early horror movie.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not super gory. It's definitely it's definitely.
Is it a little bloody because it's a vampire? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
and there's plenty of blood.
The effects are good. I think it holds up as well as any 1985 horror movie is going to.
Sure. It's sort of early days of CGI but kind of a heyday of makeup and stuff, of all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, and it's also like a lot of vampire movies. It's also really queer, though not actually queer. It's
sort of like homoerotic, but not supportive. What do you mean by queer?
I say it's not supportive. It's just
it's super supportive. Well, there you go. All right.
It's just there's
I'm
not
never gonna
many
see it.
straight vampire movies.
I do. There's no bro-y kind of vampires out there. Not even the Shadows guys.
I mean, there are.
Okay.
Let's see.
What would be a bro-y vampire movie?
I can never remember what this movie's called, but there is. I mean, 30 Days of Night. Those are straight. Those vampires are straight.
30 Days of what?
Of Night.
Of Night? Who was in that?
I have no idea. It was. I honestly, I didn't like it. I don't remember liking it. It's about vampires. Apparently, the cool thing to do when you're a vampire is go to Alaska because you get.
Oh, right, because it's night all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, that does sound like
and
a bit of.
And they just kill people in Alaska, and that's the movie.
Wow, that does not seem like enough. You are not wrong. That does not seem like enough of a. I mean, you would think a vampire moves next door that wouldn't be enough of a plot, and yet it does. It does kind of last longer. So here we go. 30 Days of Night. The small town of Barrow, Alaska, experiences a solid month of darkness every year. Though most of the residents head south for the winter, some townspeople remain. However, those that stay regret their decision. There's a sheriff, there's his wife, there's a dwindling band of survivors. Month-long Twilight. David Slade, 30 Days of Night, with Josh Hartnett. Melissa Gorge, Danny Huston, Ben Foster. I like to read off the names of people that I've never heard of.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Mark Boone Jr.'s in it, you guys.
All right.
That one's as close as you could come offhand to thinking of a real straight bro-y kind of vampire movie.
There's another one. Is it Till Dark? Is that what it's? That one's. They're straight in that.
That feels super straight. Are they? I wonder what does it mean to be a straight vampire? Are you only gonna suck the blood of ladies if you're a male, or the fellas if you're a female? I mean, it feels like a lot of work. I mean, I don't necessarily only eat hens. Do I? Maybe I do. Chicken? I think I only eat hens. I have turned this chicken analogy. It's kind of fallen apart, is what I'm saying. Yeah. And we do only eat beef. We only eat male cattle. We only eat female chickens. Mm-hmm. There is something interestingly heterosexual or heteronormative. Maybe we should branch out. Anyone want to branch out? I don't.
I can very much remember the plot of this movie. It is this guy gets bitten by a vampire, but she doesn't kill him, so he starts to turn. And the other vampires are like, "You were supposed to kill him. We can't have another vampire." And they're like, "Okay, well, I guess we need to have another vampire." And they start teaching the guy how to be a vampire, but he doesn't want to be a vampire.
Wow.
But he's in love with the woman who turned him, which like isn't problematic at all.
Oh, right. That's not going to end well. Is there a way to undo being a vampire? If in the middle of?
Yeah, I think like the whole thing was that like it wasn't the classic like you have to kill the other vampire, but it was
like the head vampire.
Yeah. It was very much like he could only be turned back to a vampire before he killed. So it was like he
had to go the whole way, and then you could kill him.
Yeah, well, his family had to cure him before he made a kill. Like once you've made a kill, you can't turn back into a vampire, which is bullshit. Because the end of the movie is him and this vampire who turned him being human, and I'm just like, no, she's definitely killed a lot of people.
And that feels like a real Hallmark ending, and it makes me wonder, would my family do it? Right? It seems like a lot of work for the family. But the family's on board, I take it. This guy's parents or his siblings. Has he got to get a cousin in? Who's doing the turning, I wonder? By the way,
dark. Here we go. Near dark. Okay. A small town farmer's son reluctantly joins a traveling group of vampires after he is bitten by a beautiful drifter.
A beautiful drifter. By the way, if you Google teaching how to be a vampire to a guy who doesn't want to be a vampire, which is what I Googled, what comes up is literally an entire page of how to remain sexually pure before marriage. My boyfriend and I are struggling with purity. Pure for men, stay ready. Restoring purity in a relationship. Here's my favorite one. Pure for men, reset. Oh, what do? Press a belly button and then all of a sudden you're a virgin again? Congratulations. Oh, wait. They're pills.
Huh.
It's weird.
So it's weird. They don't have that. They don't have the purity reset for men. That's not a thing.
That maybe not. It's a vegan cleanser. Oh no, yeah, pure reset for men is literally a it's a dietary supplement, Jackie. It does not. It no longer has anything to do with some sort of brainwashing of children to not be sexual beings.
So back to Fright Night. So
yes, please.
So Charlie finds out this guy's a vampire, and he's just like, I can't have a vampire. He's killing people, and like he watches him kill a woman. Okay, and he calls the police because, like, which, like, I mean, not even on a vampire, Charlie. Not even on a vampire. What are you doing?
That's funny.
Okay, and so it's his girlfriend who, and his, like, it's weird. It's like, are they friends? It's very much like... Oh,
is he really... Are these supposed to be high school kids, or are they college? Okay. And we don't know... So their whole thing is a vampire moves next door, and we have to figure out how to kill him. But they have to find Elvira, the host of Fright Night, to help them kill him.
That's the Roddy McDowall character. He's the horror host.
That is perfect. Oh my gosh, that would have been... I just want to see a clip of Roddy McDowall playing the horror host. He creeped me out in Planet of the Apes. So, yeah.
And like he's very like proper British, just like, you know.
Yeah.
As the horror host. And so they like find him at like a horror convention, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll give you an autograph." It's like, "No, we need to kill a vampire." It's like, "Yeah, those aren't real." And then, but he's just like, whatever, I'll do your little party. And then he goes and he's like, "Oh, that's a real I'm out."
Oh, really? And does he get out?
Well,
does he get out of it, or
he eventually has the whole like movie, and then he shows up. He's like, "Okay, let's kill a let's kill a vampire." And they but so Evil Ed, that's the friend's name, which like. They call him Evil Ed, so I don't think they're actually friends.
Yeah, that doesn't sound friendly at all. He's like the
real horror expert who like tries helping him at first. He's like, we should get Peter Vincent, who is
the Roddy McDowall character.
Yep.
So it turns into a weird galaxy quest kind of thing, which is hilarious, where they show up and they're like, no, vampires are real, come and help us. And so then they drag him off and he's like, oh, I don't actually want to do this. But of course, he's dragging bombs behind his ship. So, yeah, that's awesome. I don't mind that. That's really cool.
Yeah, and like, yeah, and there's some great scenes. There's a great transformation scene. The scene that launched a lot of sexual awakenings, and is fairly, like, it's a little problematic. I did a solo show earlier this year about horror movies that nobody saw, and it was fun. Okay.
But you got to do it.
Yeah, it's like it was just because, like, I have all this horror knowledge, which, like, until right now, I haven't really gotten to do anything with.
Right. Let me know. Let's hear it.
But, so, it was about, like, everyone has a problematic fave. And I'm like, and I'm not going to judge anyone's problematic fave, because my favorite horror movie, which is this movie, has a, like, 7-minute long scene of a vampire stalking a young woman through a nightclub, seducing her and turning her into a vampire, and just following her, and she's like running. It's like none of it's okay, but because he's handsome and it's like poppy, sexy 80s music playing, it's fine.
Oh, okay. So it's not okay because he's the bad guy. It's okay because it's not okay. It's actually been some sort of weird sexual awakening for generations.
Like that's enough to, like, convince you watching it that it is hot. And, like, to this day, Chris Sarandon, because there's a documentary about Fright Night that came out a couple years ago called "You're So Cool, Brewster," which is a line from the movie that Evil Ed says. That's like the famous line from the movie.
Okay.
And it looked like my recording stopped, so I just wanted to.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, did we off?
No,
is it still recording?
It's good. It's just like the screen went black, and I'm just like, let me just.
Oh.
No,
please record still. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but, like, Chris Sarandon talks about, like, to this day, people will be like, "You're that guy."
Yeah, and he's like, "It's not okay that I'm your sex. It's not okay that that's your fantasy." Is that what Chris Sarandon says?
A little bit.
Oh, good for him.
And he's like, and the thing is, I think it's one thing that he talks about the women who are just like, "Hey, I saw you." You know?
Yeah.
But he also talks about, like, and then sometimes guys will come up to me and be like, "Hey, I love that scene." And he's just like, "I don't think that's okay."
That's genuinely. Please do not recreate that scene. You are a douche.
She's like, "Hey, you're the guy. You're that guy." And he's just like, "You."
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You got the wrong message. Like,
you got the wrong end of that stick.
You know he's a bad guy, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know. I saw somebody, it was one of my nephews came up to the house the other day wearing a Vader shirt. And I was like, he was the bad guy. Anything there? And he's like, leave me alone. So we left it at that. But, so what about, this one kind of fascinated me. Train to Busan? Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
Okay. So that is a Korean, horror movie. And listen, like, you asked me to pick my 5 favorites, and I know I got back to you quick, but I do have to say, like, you've already seen it. There are gonna be, a lot of things are gonna be mentioned, because, like, you asked me to name my, 5 favorite horror movies.
This is the safest space you've ever been in for liking a weird movie. Go for it.
It's like asking me to pick my 5 favorite children when I have, like, 60 children.
Yes. Yeah. But and the thing is these are not your definitive. These are not the only 5 that you love. Clearly,
but I wanted to give a good. It's like a
nice spectrum.
Like time, both like time and like different types of movies. And this It's a zombie movie. Takes place on a train.
Oh.
And
Weird. Okay.
And normally,
just a regular train, like an Amtrak going across Korea.
Yeah. It's a train. It's
an in-between city train, right?
To Busan.
Okay, but right, and it's not like an in the city subway. It's a train between cities.
Yeah, it's
okay.
And it really this is the kind of horror movie that you're really going to get it all. You're going to, I don't know that there's some laughter scenes in Fright Night. I don't remember much like laughter scenes in Train to Busan.
Oh, this is just scary and kind of genuinely uncomfortable.
It's like there's great like action scenes. You're gonna get like the whoa. This movie is also like it's a tearjerker. It is.
Oh.
And like
weird.
Like,
it's also a drama.
It's like there's some beautiful moments, and it is a father. I believe it's a joint custody thing. I believe that it's a divorced couple, and it's the father bringing the daughter on the train back to the mother.
Okay, how old's the daughter?
Young.
Okay, like 9-ish.
Let's go
younger.
Let's say 9.
Okay.
I think it's
not a toddler, right? Not a toddler and not a teenager, not 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So a little tweeny kid. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I'd say something between 7 and 10.
Awesome.
And the zombie outbreak happens, and normally I am a slow zombie person. I like a Night of the Living Dead, which we'll talk about later. I like a The Walking Dead zombie. Train to Busan. These are the fast, brutal zombies, like the old like
fast
twitchy, twitchy, fast moving. And like there's some brutal scenes in this. There's some like heart-wrenching
pretty graphic. Yeah. Is it pretty violent?
I think it's not the graphicest. It's not the most graphic.
What's the most graphic? What are you comparing it to? Like what's it's not a slash?
Probably movies that I don't watch.
Okay, so it didn't feel like too much. Like, is there blood and gore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also
it's a horror movie. Okay, I get it.
There's also a sequel that came out, I think 2020 or 2021, called Peninsula, which is like the aftermath. It's okay, after this.
They're for some reason trapped on this train. They can't pull over. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm. And it's also like Busan,
what is the conceit that says
is
that they
supposed to be the safe place. Also.
Okay. Oh, so the zombies they're getting out of zombie country.
Yeah.
And trying to get to the city where supposedly it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
But they find out that there's zombies on the train.
Well, it's yeah. And like there've been people bitten on the train. It's all sorts of stuff. And it is when like a slow zombie horde is one thing. In this, it is just like think like a couple dozen zombies moving like super fast. It's just like if someone is like left behind, it's just like, oh, they're already on them. It's
right. It's because fast zombies.
Yeah, and it is like the way that they move in this. It's really hard for me to describe without like you seeing it.
Right. So people should go and check out a trailer, right, for Train to Busan.
Oh yeah.
If they like fast, horrifying zombie movies, and it is the time. Now's the time to be scared.
Yeah.
But it also is heartfelt, is what you're saying.
And it really does. Like you get the whole spectrum of this like relationship between the father and daughter, where at the beginning it's kind of just like, okay, be quiet, I'm bringing you to your mom.
Yep.
But then it becomes this father having to protect his child.
Okay, so that's neat. That sounds like if you also like drama, you will like this, because it's actiony, it's scary as all hell, and then there's this dramatic angle to it.
Yeah,
as opposed to Fright Night, which has more of a comedic thing to it, if that.
Yeah, it's like for Fright Night. Fright Night is more fun, and there's I think the action in Train to Busan is fun.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What about Ginger Snaps? What about this one? What does it mean? Ginger Snaps.
So Ginger Snaps, I love a werewolf movie. Okay, werewolves are my ultimate. That's my favorite monster. It is.
Okay.
And listen, just an aside. It is really weird in the trans community. We've all picked a monster. Okay, we're either mer people, trans people, or
well, because
werewolves.
there's a transformation going on, and you're like, I have to relate to some fucking person.
Yes. Like as a kid, like I didn't know. So many of us are like, I don't know why I was so into werewolves, but now I know.
Now you know. That is fascinating and hilarious.
But it's
okay,
like all of this is like, so are you a werewolf trans person or a mer person trans person?
Oh, right. Yeah, because mermaids. So is Ginger Snaps a werewolf movie?
Yeah, that is two teenage sisters, Ginger, and I believe Charlotte, is the other sister. I don't remember who played Ginger, but Charlotte was played by Emily Perkins.
Okay.
And this
2000?
Yeah, and I saw that sometime around high school-ish.
Right. And it looks like it has a lot of women in it.
Oh yeah.
It's women women werewolves?
Yep.
Well, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
And it's Canadian.
Oh yeah.
Wow. All right. How do they become or do they come from a long line of werewolves?
Okay.
What's happening?
So Ginger is bit by a werewolf. And it's her. She and her sister are trying to cure her. And that's the main. That's the gist of the movie.
With all of their knowledge of 10th grade chemistry, how are they trying to?
Yeah, so they find out they find out, in some old books that they somehow have access to. Okay.
Right. Sure.
That Wolfsbane will do it, but Wolfsbane, I don't know if you know this, also like poison.
Yes, an actual poison.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and there are 3 Ginger Snaps movies. So there's this one, and in the sequel, Charlotte has also become a werewolf, and she
Spoiler alert. I take it they don't cure the sister at the end of the movie.
Yeah, you have to watch, okay?
You have to watch, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but this is an aside because like the whole like Wolfsbane being a poison thing. I bring up the sequel because like she is brought in to like an addiction and recovery place, and they're just like, we don't even like, she was found with these, we don't even know what this is, and they're just like, this kid's addicted to poison, right?
Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird. What a weird scene. Is it funny? Does she try to kill people as a werewolf?
I think there's comedic parts, and I think that the best horror movies have some scenes of brevity.
Yes. And does she become super strong and super fast when she becomes
and,
a werewolf?
And she also it's very this is a movie that is really used a lot of times when people think of werewolves as a puberty analogy.
Okay.
So there's also like when she's becoming a werewolf, like she becomes sexy, like not as the werewolf, but after she's bit by the werewolf, she's just like, you know,
a little more confident. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, yeah.
Nothing is sexier than confidence. So, you know, once you're bit by a werewolf and you have werewolf powers, that's also happening in She-Hulk. A lot of people don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
but like the two sisters, they're very much like they're obsessed with morbid things, and like this isn't a spoiler, like the because it's literally like
and again 22 years ago. It'll be fine. Spoil away.
But it's like the whole beginning of the movie is this montage of the murder and suicide pictures that they make of themselves. So it's like it's just like the two of them like hanging from one. And
right.
So it's like, I mean, if anyone was going to become a werewolf, you know, it might have been these two.
Right. And so, but can she still think when she's in werewolf form? It's not Michael J. Fox playing basketball, right?
No, but it's
okay.
It's a little in between.
Okay. So you have favorite scenes? Is it do their extended family get involved in the cure, or is it mostly just them and their friends, or just the two of them?
It's the two of them and one guy who I believe is the drug dealer.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, listen, a lot of horror movies, the drug dealer's your friend, okay? It's like,
right.
I mean, even just look at The Faculty, okay?
Right. Oh my God, that is so weird. Wow. Okay. So what about Demon Night? Is there a night where the demons come?
Yeah, and this is honestly probably up there with Fright Night as like legitimate favorite horror movies. This is another formative one. This is a Tales from the Crypt movie. It is one of two Tales from the Crypt movies.
What does that mean? What is Tales from the Crypt?
That's the Crypt Keeper. If you ever,
no. What is the Crypt Keeper?
Oh my God! This is a tangent I didn't expect it to go.
Okay.
To go on. So that was a horror anthology series. That
TV show?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Maybe.
And they made two movies.
Okay.
And
so there's TV shows and then there's two movies of something called Crypt Keeper or Tales from the Crypt.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So and he's like a corpse.
What? Okay. The host or the main character?
No, the host of Tales from the Crypt.
Okay.
Is
much like
corpse.
Elvira, is the host. Okay.
Yeah. And let's see. Have you ever seen Creep Show?
No, I've heard of that. I think is that a TV show? Is that or is that a movie?
That's a Stephen King movie.
Stephen King movie. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen. I saw Stand By Me. That's based on a novella by Stephen King. That's the only Stephen King movie I've ever seen.
It's just like I was like, because in there's a similar like comic book character to, I was gonna like find a through line if you'd seen that, just to compare. Right. But so the Crypt Keeper is a corpse, and he tells you a horror story.
Okay.
And honestly, in my opinion, the best they ever did it was this movie. As far as like the whole, like the series of Tales from the Crypt, the
Demon Night came out of that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and was it a Tales of the Crypt Demon Night movie?
The full title is Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Night.
Okay.
And
what's it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that is so it opens with a car chase between you don't know this, but like you find it out over the course of the movie between a demon and a currently like somewhat immortal human
Okay.
who are fighting over this. It's like it's a flask. Okay, it's a flask. It is a flask.
There's just a bottle?
Yeah, it's like I have jokingly called this movie Jesus Blood Bottle so many times.
Okay. Because it's just about a bottle of blood?
Yes, that this demon wants, because it's the bottle is actually like a key that is going to help the demon bring about the end of the world.
Okay. So the bottle of blood will trigger the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a really weird plot, like, to describe to someone who's never seen the movie.
And when you say it out loud, does it make you love it more?
Oh, absolutely.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Then I've done my job.
And this is Jada Pinkett. This is one of Jada Pinkett Smith's first movies.
Before she was Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yep.
She was just Jada Pinkett.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and she is the final girl in this, okay? It is,
which I just found out what that meant. The final girl. There was a previous episode of the Dork Forest where I was where I think it was Zach Noe Taylor explaining to me his favorite horror movies, and one of them was The Final Girl or something like that. The Final Girls, I think, was the name of that movie.
I've seen that.
There you go. And that was his favorite horror movie. This movie has Billy Zane in it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is. Honest, the best part of that movie is Billy Zane. He's the bad guy? Yeah. And
is he the demon?
Uh-huh. And he spends that entire movie just chewing the scenery and having a ball. It is. And he pisses fire at one point. That's
just good writing. That's what that is. It's
Thomas Hayden Church is in it.
Okay. And so our main character, who is not Billy Zane, runs away with the flask of blood, and then there's a showdown.
Yeah. So there's a car crash. They both end up in this very small desert town. I
was gonna say that everybody always ends up in a small desert town, but that's not true. Sometimes they end up in a giant city, and other times they end up in a small wooded town. But so it could have ended up anywhere, but in this case, small town in the desert.
Yeah, and so they're at this bar. It all takes place in a it's like a combination bar, small hotel, brothel. Okay.
Oh, they've diversified. Interesting. It's Dr. Grins. Okay.
Where they sometimes
a comedy
ask
club.
A comedian to stay.
Right, because there's a comedy club, and then there's a karaoke bar, and then there's a bowling alley, or there's just a dance club, or maybe all four of them in one building. Dr. Grins used to be in that, although I believe they just moved. I will be playing Dr. Grins, by the way, in a couple of weeks, and I believe the week that this comes out, I should probably tell everybody before we wrap up that I'm going to be in Minneapolis on the 7th of October at the Cedar. So please come and see me in Minneapolis at the Cedar on October 7th at the 10,000 Lakes Laughs Comedy Festival. I am talking, by the way, with Sammie James, stand-up comic. And Sammie James is handle on all things is Sammie Sam James, Sammie Samjames, and follow her, make it happen. Yes, congratulations. Okay, now back to the Demon Night. How does it end?
Okay, so it ends with this demon hunter basically passing on his immortality. So that someone else can fight the demon for the rest of eternity until
Because that person has already been fighting the demon for the most of eternity?
Yeah. Well, it's basically this has been going on since Jesus was crucified, which
Oh, is that the blood? It is the blood of Christ in the bottle?
It is Jesus' blood.
Wow.
That basically the demon needs to get that blood out of there so that the key can be the key to bringing out.
Yeah, 1995. It's horror fantasy. Fantasy because there's a demon in it. Ex-soldier Frank Breaker, William Sadler, is the guardian of an ancient key that can unlock tremendous...
World War I or World War II soldier, but he shouldn't look like a 30-something.
Well, the actor now looks like he might have been in World War I.
All right.
So he's fine. It's he still looks he looks like your handsome councilman. That guy, there's plenty of work left for that guy. Good for him. All right. So, he was in Deep Space Nine. Yeah. Anyway, I
mean, there's some great scenes in that. The demons are gross because the demon he brings other demons, but I think he cuts his arm open and the blood makes demons come out of the ground, and then he pisses blood. Unrelated. I mean, fire. Pisses great. Fire. He pisses fire.
Right. So
that's afterwards he might have pissed blood. I mean, that's.
Is there any ever mention about the fact that if the demon hunter gets a hold of the blood, that why does the demon get to be here and there's no the one guy seems to be the representative of the Jesus, and then the demon is the representative of the devil. Mm-hmm. And then that's it. It's just a one-on-one. They've essentially, two armies have chosen to have representatives fight each other.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, and then it seems like each one of the humans gets their own demon, because you need to defeat that demon to
Okay, because humans are supporting the demon hunter, so the demon creates sort of minions.
Yeah. To
go fight the rest of the humans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes for good television. That's a good action-y scene, right? Yeah. All right. I like it. Is there a love interest?
And he also makes illusions that it's hey, open the door. Cuz he can't touch the thing, and so sometimes he'll be when you go into a door, he the guy has them pour a drop of blood in the doorway because the demons can't walk past that.
Oh, wow. But he's been doing it for 2,000 years. You'd think he would have run out of blood.
Well, because every time, it basically, it starts with Jesus' blood. And, there's a little bit of Jesus' blood, okay?
Oh, they add, saints and stuff?
No, they add the last person refills it with their own blood.
Oh, the demon fighter?
Yeah. So, the end of the movie is him, touching the thing and, it filling it up again. It's just whoop.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know if you ever saw The Bishop's Wife. It was a Christmas movie with Cary Grant. Anyway, but there's a glass of wine that refills much like that. Less creepy. Because it's just a bottle of wine. That's hilarious, though, that's how it gets passed on. So whoever he passes the job on to, you know how there's in a lot of these movies, there's usually no, that's not true. How would I know? Is there a love interest? Is there a romantic side to this movie?
Not really.
They're on task.
And I like that. Okay,
you enjoy that about these films.
Yeah, there is.
They're at work, damn it. Don't bring your HR. Yeah.
There is a creepy mailman who happens to be there, and is obsessed with the prostitute who works in the hotel. But like that's not really a love story.
No, that's a story of workplace harassment. That's what that is. So
he is,
and then
he is why they have guns, though. So
there you go. All right. Well, we've timed this pretty well because we have about 8 minutes left. And Night of the Living Dead. Is that the one in the mall?
No, that is Dawn of the Dead.
I've seen most of that.
Okay.
Not all of it.
And this is
scary.
Night of the Living Dead, although there is a 1990 remake. What I'm talking about is the oldest of the movies. I believe it's 1968.
Okay.
I mean...
That's back there. And it's a zombie movie.
Oh, yeah.
Night of the Living Dead,
it's
obviously.
the zombie movie.
Is it more of a zombie movie than Dawn of the Dead?
It's the movie. It's...
Kind of.
Yeah, well...
Because Dawn of the Dead was a parable about consumerism, is what I've always been told.
Dawn of the Dead is the sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so the original Romero trilogy is Night of the Living Dead, a bunch of years later, Dawn of the Dead, a couple years later, Day of the Dead, and then a bunch of other stuff. But Night of the Living Dead is considered, it's the birth of the modern zombie.
Okay.
It is that
slow
is,
zombie or fast zombie?
That's slow zombie, which is what the original zombie is. It is not the birth of this weird meme that and idea that zombies say brains. That is just from a movie called Return of the Living Dead, which is unrelated to any of these Romero movies.
Oh, okay. Brains have come from, you could just say, because zombies are the living dead, so I guess you could just call things the living dead. So what are Romero's zombies like?
Yeah, so that is, I mean, these are the original zombies. These are the
How does he define a zombie?
That's dead bodies that come back.
And what are they looking for in his world?
And in the original, this Night of the Living Dead, they come back and they start killing and eating people. But it's also like the original zombies in Night of the Living Dead also seem a little more just capable than the later zombies. Like certain,
and a lot of zombies are mindless, right? Are these on task?
And I think not. I wouldn't say that. It's I think they're still mindless, but there's like scenes. Usually, zombie movies, and this was the first zombie movie, so it laid the groundwork. But like other people, kind of like built on it, including Romero, continued to work and build on it. But
did he write this movie too, Night of the Living Dead?
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow. So he created the Wow.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And I also think that this is one of the first. Not to say that it wasn't being done before 1968, and also like 1968, maybe the year to do it. It's also one of the earliest like real social commentary horror movies.
Okay.
And whether it was intended
or at least one of the greatest, right?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like whatever people were doing before that, and I'm sure it was being done. Mm-hmm. This was sort of definitive, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and it is. But my original train of thought was that like a lot of zombies, like they just go forward, they grab you and they eat you. In the in Night of the Living Dead, like some of them they'll pick up a knife. Okay, so like they're able to.
They're willing to harvest people.
They're able to like do they can open a door and
right. They can murder. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there is a terrifying scene. I don't really want to ruin it, but it is
okay.
It is a scene where
is it early in the movie, middle of the movie, end of the movie?
It's later half.
Okay, is it the scariest scene in the movie? Do you think?
It's one of them. It is.
And where is the Night of the Living Dead? Where do they spend the night?
Yeah, so it starts, a brother and sister are leaving flowers at their mother's grave. And
so beautiful.
Yeah, and zombies start to show up, and you may have heard, like, it's been spoofed in so many movies and sampled in so many things. If you've ever heard they're coming to get you, Barbara.
Okay.
That is this movie.
That's where that line comes from?
Yeah.
They're coming to get you, Barbara?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have heard that line. There's been many comics who have referenced that line. Okay. So that's where it does it. So the first zombies we see in the movie are in a graveyard.
Yeah.
And are they coming after this couple?
Yeah, so
the siblings?
Yeah. And it is literally, like, it opens, and the brother sees, like, I don't remember if it's like, oh, look at that weirdo, he's going to hurt us, just as like a joke, and then literally guys come over, kill the brother. Zombies come over, kill the brother.
That's okay. So the rest of the movie, we're following the sister?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's not too bad of a spoiler. And this, again, we're talking 5,700 years ago. So don't sweat it.
So she runs away, and she ends up in this, I don't remember if it's a house, but so there are like 5 or 6 survivors. It is her, a couple, like an older couple, a young white man, and Dwayne Jones, who is the he's the hero of the movie. This
young black man?
Yep.
Okay.
Who, and I don't remember, I know the actor is Dwayne Jones. I feel fucking awful that I can't remember.
Oh, you can't remember the character?
Yeah.
Dwayne's happy that you remembered his name. He's more happy that you remembered the name of the actor.
Yeah. Who his other horror movie, Ganja and Hess, also beautiful, also very important. Not as well known. That's a vampire movie.
Yeah, and his name was Ben. So, yeah, it's real hard to. Was there a love? Does she fall in love with Ben? Is that the social commentary that we learn?
No.
That people are just sausage casings and you could fall in love with whoever?
No, I think like the social commentary is this black man being the hero in the fucking movie.
Oh, okay. And sort of the first kind
white
of
people being fucking shitty, of which like
and just cowering and behind him.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. I think that George Romero, from what I've heard, has always said that like it wasn't he didn't plan on it being a black man. Dwayne Jones was the best guy for the job, which
that's amazing because that's how casting should go. Yeah, right.
Whether it's true or not, there's your listen. That's you. That's you doing the social activism right there.
Right. That's you living he died when he was 51 years old, which is younger every day, by the way. 51 feels super young, and will seem younger as I age. But he had cardiac arrest. That's very sad.
That's like, I'm bad at math, but I'm 33, so I'm closer to that. So he was born in
1937, so 47, 57, 67. So he was 31 in the movie. He was 31 years old in the film. And then he lived 20 more years. And then he passed away.
Yeah.
There you go. Too much info in almost the end of this. I've stopped your flow. I'm so sorry, Sammie James. Continue.
Yeah, okay. So, but there are scenes in this movie that the fact that they didn't have to have then be written for this, the fact that how it was written was kept is like a huge social statement, because like, listen, a line like, you're used to being the boss out there, I'm the boss in here, hits different in 1968 when it is said by a black man to a
pile of whitey magoos. Yeah, that's awesome.
Is, and then like it's a spoiler, but it's also like, if you know horror, you know that this is the end. So this guy, he is the hero of the movie. He is protecting this house, and literally everyone dies. Everyone dies except for,
including him.
We're getting there. So everyone dies except for him. And then,
thank God.
And then I'm gonna ruin this for you. And that's how you think the movie's ending. You see, he's just like, oh, I survived. And then turns out this whole time there was another movie going on that we didn't know about. And this also, to not change anything and to keep it the way that it is in 1968 is a huge deal. You know, casting this guy and be like, we're not going to change a damn thing, because then it is a bunch of like white vigilante shitbags with like the guns and the dogs show up and they see him in the window of this building, and they're like, there's another one, shoot it.
Oh wow. Well, that actually sucks. That's the, because I want I always want, I mean, granted, in my case, I always want there to be a happy ending.
Same, and it is.
But so
like, it is a bummer ending, but it's like, I think that really cements it as one of the most important.
Right, because, well, I mean, it emphasizes the white supremacy at the end of it.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is,
you know, he is the hero of the movie, but the white mob sees him and they just kill him anyway.
Yeah, and I actually don't know if that was the original ending or if that was then a conscious choice.
Yeah, I would be curious to find that out too. Though sometimes with horror movies, it's pretty much, they're being made by like people who are like, no, we're gonna do this so it's weird, or we're gonna do the anti-establishment thing. We're gonna, you know, they feel like a very much an anti-establishment kind of genre, where we're just like, nobody wins at the end of a horror movie. So there's the final girl, which I've learned what that is, and so the whole crew dies. I don't know.
And
were
like,
there funny scenes in it?
Normally, those are not my favorite movies, but this movie is so well done.
It seems super powerful. It's sort of like that Train to Busan movie that you were talking about. That one seems super dark or super like hard for me to watch too, just because it's a drama. I'm not, you know, there's enough drama in my life. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to watch more drama.
Like, oh, yeah, that's the end of that movie's tearful as fuck.
Sammie James, it has been an hour, by the way.
All right.
And we got through all the movies. That's cool. We'll have you on next year talking about 5 different movies, because there's hundreds of movies that you love. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, listen, I love the whole horror genre, okay?
Yes.
It's like I got something in all of it. You got the 1950s and 60s Hammer movies. I like them, okay?
Right. Well, maybe you come up with a list of, what I do like is sometimes Matt Weinhold will come on with a list of Halloween movies that I should be willing to watch. And so now I do have 2. I have Hocus Pocus and the Don Knotts movie. Something in Mr. Chill.
Give Fright Night a shot.
Well, and then there's also, I like the Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein and Dracula movies. Those are quite nice too. So, but I need them, Because I get scared easy, is what I'm saying. Anyway,
Yeah.
though I don't mind the Thin Man, but that's just a murder mystery. Anyway, let's
All right.
tell people it's at Sammie Sam James, Sammie Sam James on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on all the things.
Yep.
Go and find her stand-up comedy, for they are funny. Thank you so much for doing the program.
Yeah. YouTube, I think, is also Sammie Sam James. I don't know.
There you go. And Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?